Stephanie.
And I'm Lex from pdq.com.
Today we're going to talk about a case when statement, and we're also going to include a union here in a SQL report in inventory.
Okay, I got to say, if we're doing SQL, I need a drink. That's all I can say.
Cheers. Happy Monday. No Monday blues here. So.
Okay, so we've already got a SQL statement built.
Right.
Take us through, yeah.
This is actually a request that I got from a customer for a query, and we kind of wrote this out. I kind of dumbed it down a little bit to make it a little bit more basic, and today we're just going to talk about like how many of your computers on your instance, your desktops specifically, are BitLockered versus non-BitLockered. Okay. So we are going to, and we want the count of that. So we are going to select the chassis type from the computers table, right? So right here, you can see we're selecting this statement from the computers table. I'll erase that. We're also looking for a count. This is when our case when statement is going to come in. We're going to explain that a little bit further. And we want to say where the chassis is desktop, and the protection status is going to be either 0 or 1, which means non-BitLockered or BitLockered.
Which is which?
We'll find out, right? So, there
you go.
So when we look at this, we also need to include a union. And the reason why we include this union here is because instead of a join where you were to join two tables together, a union is going to include all rows, whereas a join would only include rows that have the same type of columns in each table and exclude everything else. A union is going to say, okay, doesn't matter. We want all rows no matter what. That's kind of why we're doing that.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and erase this. So here we want to know how many desktops here, which we are saying when the case when the chassis is desktop and the protection status is either 1 or 0, because we're doing on 2 different lines, then we want the count, right? So we're saying then count. And then we're ending that. We always need to include that.
And then, of course, you made an alias on the end as BitLockered count or non-BitLockered count.
Right. We alias this to make something different. One of the primary reasons you use the case when statement is to create a column that doesn't actually exist in the table. So we're saying, okay, I really need to know the count of one versus the other. It doesn't exist as a column in our table. We're going to create it, and we're going to call it desktop BitLockered count and desktop non-BitLockered count. And that's where you're going to see that with your union. So let's go ahead and run that. Should we try?
Absolutely.
So we are running a smaller network. We have 33 computers on this instance. So it might not be as big of a result as what it would be on yours. So let's go ahead and run. And we see here we have 5 total counts, and they are all non-BitLockered. If we had a larger instance, we might be able to see other types of counts. However, there are more than one chassis types, right?
Absolutely.
Not just
laptops, servers.
Right. So we could say if we wanted to include laptops, if we wanted to include servers, if we wanted to include any type of chassis type in there, we could create a case when statement for that. And then it would just add additional columns like, say here, let's say we said laptop, and just down the line. But right now we're only focusing on desktop, and that's how you find out if you have any desktops that are BitLockered or not.
So there's your case when statements.
All right, guys, thanks so much.
See you later.
Stephanie with PDQ.
And Lex.